I don't know if this film intended to be anti-drug, but it definitely worked on that level. Hello everybody, back today with another review for you, and it's going to be Toad Road. I've been meaning to get to this one for a while, it took a minute, but the film was directed and written by Jason Banker, and it's a well done film, I think, at least. I don't think a lot of horror people that like hardcore horror are going to like it. This film's all about build-up. It listed as a horror thriller. I thought it was more of a drama with horror elements. It's very vague, so that is like the main problem with this movie. But the story involves two main characters. Female lead is Sarah Ann Johnson, the male lead is James Davidson. It's about this group of people that are heavy partiers. They're early 20s and they're taking LSD, ecstasy, shrooms, whatever, basically whatever they can get their hands on. Alcohol, of course, mixed in with it. And they're partying all the time. And the main character, James, we're learning a little bit about him and that he's kind of trying to find his way out of this drug scene. And at the same time, he's falling in love with this girl, Sarah, which makes for a really interesting story. And she's starting to get into the LSD and the shrooms and stuff, and she wants to expand her mind. And they're falling in love at the same time, and they're doing all these drugs, and the girl wants to do more and more, and at the same time, he wants to do less and less, and at the same time, they're talking about this Toad Road. The film's only 76 minutes long, and the Toad Road thing doesn't really come into play till the end of the movie. It's pretty interesting. It's like an urban legend where it's like a wood trail in the woods where you walk down and you pass these 7 gates, and it's supposed to be equivalent of like a really bad acid trip that supposedly people, once they pass the 5th gate, they never come back from, whatever. So the girl wants to do it, the guy kind of doesn't want to do it. Towards the end of the film, they wind up doing it, and from there the film gets stripped out. I don't want to talk too much more. I'll do a little bit of spoilers at the end, but I'll warn you before that. The good things I liked about this movie is the way it looked, the way it was acted. It feels very natural. The camera's there really close while they're doing all their drugs, all their partying, and you get a feel for how it is to hang out with this group. The character development was pretty good, even though the acting and the script at times felt a little ad-lib, but in a good way. Everything felt very natural, and the look of the film is excellent. I guess his previous work, Jason Banker's a cinematographer, so it looked good, definitely. I think the main thing people are going to have a problem with this film is that it lacks a lot of horror, really. It's more about, kind of getting confused in your head on a bad trip, as opposed to, a slasher or like a killer or some real supernatural entity. They leave it very vague. You're not 100% sure what happened, but it's more about the trip than what really happened to this guy at the end. So don't expect fistfuls of horror. Let's put it that way. It's very slow paced. It's only 76 minutes long, but it's mostly about the partying and the relationship between the two people. And then at the end, we get into the Toad Road thing. And at that part, it is tension. It's creepy, all that stuff. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I'm going to give it a soft recommendation because I don't think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's too arty-farty, blah, 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 because it has that sort of arty feel. But it's well done. Worst thing I think about this film is that they didn't achieve really what they wanted to achieve. I think message got kind of mixed up because the film is a little bit all over the place. Before I go on too long on this video, let me get to the spoilers. So shut off now if you haven't seen the film. But the spoilers are basically at the end of the film when they go on the Toad Road and they both take acid and, he wakes up and it's been 6 months instead of like a day. I really like that part, but my interpretation of it, and it's a little bit vague, but it's like he got stuck on the 5th gate. And if you listen to the dialogue, she says if you get stuck on the 5th gate, it's like more about a personal hell. Take it for what you will. I mean, to prove the point of the personal hell, when he comes back, he starts partying worse. And before he went on the Toad Road, he wanted to, quit partying. And then he's partying worse. He's letting these guys punch him and beat him up and stuff when he's wasted just for the hell of it, I guess because he thinks he deserves it. And then at the end, I think he gets to the 7th circle where it's just all like restarts again, sort of, and he gets stuck in like hell. I mean, basically, obviously, the Toad Road is supposed to mean that, he got stuck on a bad trip and, was it paranormal? Was it in his head? Whatever. But you take it for what you will. Like I said, 3 out of 5. Mostly because it didn't achieve, I don't think, fully what he wanted. But take my recommendation with a grain of salt. All right, guys. See ya.